Hi, welcome to GK Marine Tech. Today's video is about refrigeration system, continuation of the last video. Last video we discussed about how superheat is maintained by uh, thermostatic expansion valve. Today's lecture is how to measure the superheat practically in the system. Okay, so how we are going to measure, then how to compare with the your system freon type and how much it has to be there. So that is all, it's very important, right? Because we know that thermostatic expansion valve is taking care of superheat maintaining, but we have to know whether proper superheat is maintaining or not. Okay, for that, how to measure? There is no direct measurement for superheat. There is no direct sensor or instrument for superheat, but from the parameters we can calculate the superheat. That only we have to check. And this is the system yesterday we discussed about. So here, this area 5 degree superheat I mentioned here, we have to check whether really we are getting 5 degree superheat or not. For that, normally what are the sensors normally will be in the system? One is suction pressure, and one is discharge pressure, and one more will be there, oil pressure. Oil pressure we'll discuss about the next class. So today's is that these two pressures, and main important is that this pressure, to find out whether we are really achieving the superheat or not. So for that, pressure gauge normally will be fitted in the system, and only the temperature of this suction point where the pressure gauge is there, that point we have to measure the temperature. Normally temperature thermometer will not be fitted in the suction line. Okay, so for that we can use the infrared temperature sensor and we can check here. Otherwise, if you have your multimeter is having the provision to check the temperature with the sensor, then you can use this. PTC sensor is there, so we can fit it in that place and you can measure in your multimeter. Nowadays, all the latest multimeter have this temperature sensors with the special probe with that. Okay, otherwise you can check with like this. Definitely, all the ship is having this infrared temperature sensor. So from this you can measure the temperature. So we will get PES suction pressure, TS temperature in the suction. These two parameters compare with the table, and table we can find out really it is the temperature is exactly the saturation temperature or above the saturation temperature. Above means how much above the saturation temperature, that is the superheat. Okay, so for finding out the saturation temperature of the particular suction pressure, there is a table. This table, almost all gases is given. Okay, R134A normally we use, and 407C mostly we are using in the ship. Sometimes 410A also. 22 now it is a ban, ozone depletion substances. So mostly we don't, R22 will not be available in the ships. Okay, so here the first column is mentioned the temperature. So you find out the temperature from the infrared gun. So that temperature we have to check the corresponding. For example, now we are checking the 407C, that is orange color. Okay, so orange color we will check. Before that, some unit conversion you have to know, because some of the system they are following different units. Okay, SI units is the, for pressure it is a bar, but mostly in AC system they are using kilopascal in the ships. In the ships, pressure gauge all will be in the kilopascal scale, otherwise PSI scale. Okay, PSI also nowadays it's coming, some of the pressure gauges. So that conversion I have given, 1 bar equal to 100 kPa. Okay, so 100 kPa means divided by 100, that is a 1 bar. Like that, 1 PSI is 14.5 bar. Okay, so with that measurement, you can easily convert your pressure gauge reading into your standard values. Standard value is the bar. Okay, SI units. And normally for water, this everybody knows, icing temperature is 0 degree centigrade. 0 degree centigrade, it will become ice from the liquid state to solid state, and 32 degree Fahrenheit. If you're talking about the Fahrenheit, then it will be 32 degree. Okay, mostly we are following the degree centigrade. Okay, now we will see, for example, suppose 10 degree suction temperature. That infrared gun, it is reading 10 degree. So 10 degree, how much in the orange line we have to check? See, this is 10 degree. 10 degree or 12 degree, whatever the temperature, we can see here orange color, 534 kilopascal. 534 kilopascal means 5.34 bar. It is divided by 100. So 5.34 bar is the saturation temperature, saturation pressure. Okay. So suppose now what we have to do, our pressure how much? We need not bother about the temperature, temperature take care, but our pressure how much, suction pressure how much? For example, 5 bar. 5 bar means around here, 495, near to 495. 495 saturation temperature, you see, 8 degree. Suppose that the infrared gun, it is measuring 12 degree. Infrared gun 12 degree, that means what? It is 4 degree above the saturation temperature. That 4 degree is called superheat. If it is 8 degree, that the infrared gun also reading 8 degree, that means there is no zero superheat. That is very risky to the compressor. See, very easily we can find out whether our compressor suction stage, the gas is in liquid state or gas state. Gas state means 100% it should be in the superheat stage. So that is why we are measuring the superheat. So you understand now. So suppose 6.2 bar, suction pressure is 6.2 bar. 6.2 bar, how much is there? 14 degree. So 14 degree, the temperature should be more than 14 degree, 5 degree more than 14 degree. It should be 19 or 20 degree. If it is less, then the superheat is not maintained. Okay. So this is the method to find out the superheat, how much superheat is maintaining in the system. Okay. So now for another method, the charging hose. Charging hose, we have two pressure gauges. One gauge is normally we are using only one. So one gauge we will connect it to the suction line. One gauge will connect it to the discharge line. And this is connected to the bottle. This is normally we used to charge, and we will discuss about the one full class how to charge the gases. Okay. Suppose if we are connected to only the suction, just for checking the pressure. So with charging point, we can connect this and find out how much pressure is maintaining instead of directly reading in the pressure gauge in the system. Why we want to use this? Here there is a scale, because everywhere you will know the chart is not available. How much superheat to the corresponding pressure? The chart we have to have. Mobile apps also nowadays available. The Donfas app is there, so you can download and you can get it. Otherwise, the chart everywhere you cannot carry. So every time you are going for the rounds and you are checking the temperature, pressure, and you have to find out whether our superheat is maintained or not. For that, for simplifying, they given all the saturation temperature there, and this gauge is common for all gases. So what is happening? You see, this is a pressure gauge, right? But pressure gauge, they are given temperatures also. You see, this is the pressure. See, class degree Fahrenheit they given. Okay, here they given the Fahrenheit. So pressure we have to check here, and pressure is in the PSI. Pressure is in the PSI. That is what I said. Sometime your system pressure gauge will be normal, but your charging hose you are ordering from different countries, you will get the charging kit like this PSI and bar are different units. So that is why I told how to convert the unit, and then you have to follow that one. Here they given PSI range and Fahrenheit temperature range, and this here the outermost circle, outermost dial is for pressure. Then what is the inner green color, black color, and orange color? That is all temperatures. You can see that how the pressure gauge is given the temperature scale. Temperature scale is only for your understanding, but that is the saturation temperature of that corresponding pressures. Right. So that is also different to the types of the freon. R22, it is a green color. If you are using R22, you check the temperature scale on the green. If you are using R410A, then black color reading. R404A, then orange color dial. So the dial is giving you the saturation temperature of the all corresponding pressures. So our meter is here. So here 120, around 110, 115 psi is there. 115 psi corresponding, suppose for example 404A we are using. So 47 Fahrenheit. 47 Fahrenheit is the saturation temperature of that. So if we have the 5 degree superheat, the actual temperature should be more than 40. How much is there? 47. So more than 47. It may be 52, 53 Fahrenheit it should be. Correct? So if it is a 52, so you are maintaining the 5 degrees superheat. So this is the easy method to find the superheat without chart. The chart is already available in the dial only. Discharge also we are checking. Suction side for superheat. Discharge side also they given the temperature scale. Why they given in the discharge side? That is for subcooling. We will discuss about the subcooling in the next chapter. Subcooling is the main criteria, not for maintaining, not for saving the equipments, but for improving the COP, coefficient of performance. The subcooling is very, very important. Then only that AC will work efficiently. Okay, that we will discuss in the next separate class. So this is the method we have to find out the superheat. Here we will discuss about only the kit, because this picture is showing our domestic split AC system. So in onboard we are having a plant, so we have everything connected there. Only this kit is available with you. So if you don't have any chart, then you can use this kit. That is why I told you. Okay, suppose most of the ships, the system pressure gauge itself having this diagram like this. This actually I took from my ship only. So here this is suction, this is discharge gauge. Both is having the temperature scale. You see 134A, 404A, 407C. For 3 gases this is compatible. And inside black color, the black color is that bar. Into 1 bar, they are given the unit conversion also into 0.1 megapascal or into 100 kilopascal or 1.02 kgf per centimeter square. Which unit you want, you multiply with that factor. If it is a bar, directly you can take. If you want to make it another unit, then you have to multiply with this multiplication factor, then you can write, note down. Okay. So this is the very easy method, and it is a dual pressure gauge. We will discuss about the dual pressure gauge, why we want. The central dial gauge is for oil pressure. We will discuss about a separate class. Now we have to check about the superheat. Our system is having superheat or not. The same charging kit, how it is, the similar way they given both the side. Okay. For superheat, suction pressure gauge. For subcooling, discharge pressure gauge, you have to check. So how much pressure is there here? 1.1. Suction pressure is 1.1. So we are using 407C. So 407C, it is this area, 1, 2, 3, this area here. So 4073 almost minus, it is around here minus 20. See here 40, 30, and it is around 0 minus 20. Okay. So you have to check. Minus 20, don't feel it maybe it is a refrigeration system, that is why it is showing minus 20. You have to check our temperature, how much is there. This is only showing the corresponding corresponding saturation temperature only. Okay. So your less than 1 only, less than 1, the corresponding temperature is minus 25, 30. So your superheat should be more. It should be minus 20. Okay. So if it is more than that, your system is having a superheat, but it should not be more superheat also. Then your efficiency will come down. So with this dial, easily you will find out how much saturation temperature of the corresponding pressure. Then you check practically with the infrared gun, and the temperature should be more than that, 5 to 6 degree more than that. So this is the method of checking the superheat, and this is a discharge gauge. Okay. So now you understand how to check the superheat from the system and make sure the system is working safely. Okay. But there is no a system or a cutout system for superheat. There is a cutout system for suction pressure and discharge pressure and oil pressure. Okay. So now you see in AC, some of the machinery we don't have this, but here dual pressure gauge they given. So easily you can find out the center dial oil pressure, it is around 1.1, and suction pressure 1.8, and discharge pressure it is around 17, 18. So this is the method. Juniors, for juniors I am telling you, this is the way you have to write suction pressure, discharge pressure and oil pressure. That is very important. Okay. And suppose in AC system how it is, you see, this is the AC system. AC system, they are not giving a dual pressure gauge, they are given separate gauge for the lube oil. This next class we will discuss about this, but you tell in the comment how to read this, how much lube oil pressure it is. It is the discharge pressure. This is what? Oil pressure. This is the low pressure means suction pressure. This is the discharge pressure. Suction pressure and discharge pressure, sometimes they given the saturation temperature scale also. Okay. Otherwise, you can use the another chart or your kit. You take it and then similar. You need not connect. Just to take the dial and check with the corresponding temperature to the corresponding pressure. Okay. That's very simple. That is a handy chart. It is normally it will be available in the ship. Okay. Now here given low suction pressure, okay, clear, understood. This is the suction pressure, and this is the discharge pressure, clear, understood. And this is the oil pressure, correct? Oil pressure is correct. How much is oil pressure? It is around 10, 15, 16 bar. 16 bar is right? Or how much the oil pressure? Give in the comment. Then next class we will discuss about how to read the oil pressure in the AC system. From here, I think you got the new information about how to measure the superheat, how to maintain the superheat, how to maintain. I already told you, in expansion valve there is a screw. We can adjust the screw by adjusting the superheat. Okay. For that also we will discuss one time. We have an app, and the app we will discuss how to adjust the superheat. Okay. I think this video gives you a good information. Continuously monitor my channel and subscribe, and we will see in the next good lesson. Thank you for watching. See you guys.